It is all well and good. The government is pumping $10 million into farming for increased production. But I think there is a big question. Will we, the locals, buy it? All of us, residents, we must begin now to think local and buy local. Local will never do well if we only buy when the boats do not come. I know we are imperfect. There are issues, for example, prices, and this is perhaps a major issue. There certainly is no doubt about our quality. We produce top-rated vegetables, pesticide-safe foods in the country. If we do not support local, the $10 million invested will be wasted, and we will remain food insecure just as we are now. We must eat what we produce and produce what we eat so that we could build jobs locally, empower our people, and be having food for ourselves. It is not just about government, it's about us all. So let us be so minded and prepare ourselves. As I wrap up, I just want to remind you about the opening hours at the department. The Department of Agriculture will be open next on Thursday morning to sell feed and crop supplies. The public market will be open Thursday and Friday from 7 to 2 p.m. And all those who have business with us, feel free. In terms of feed, right now we only have layer feed because we were expecting 3 containers. We only got 1, but we think that we should be able to get the other 2 out of the port later this week. We just apologize for any inconvenience, and we trust that you will not be too greatly impacted. Thank you, and I look forward to coming to you again shortly.
The Environment Subcommittee is comprised of the following members: the Director of Environment, who chairs the committee, and representatives from the oil companies, that is Delta and Sol, St. Christopher National Trust, St. Kitts and Nevis Defense Force, that is the Coast Guard Division, St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Services, the Parks and Beaches Unit, the Department of Marine Resources, the Department of Maritime Affairs, the Solid Waste Management Corporation, Public Health, and representatives from NEMA on St. Kitts and from Nevis as well. The Environment Subcommittee is mainly responsible for assessing impacts to the natural environment with respect to any disaster situation. Prior to the onset of an event, the subcommittee is responsible for developing response plans for disasters, which should include recovery plans for ecological sites. In that regard, the Environment Subcommittee is responsible for not only conducting environmental damage and need assessments, but also in ensuring that personnel are trained in the assessment techniques. Currently, as hurricanes are one of our most imminent threats and pose the greatest potential for disaster, there is ongoing vulnerability assessments for key ecological areas, including our guts and watercourses, our coastal ecosystems, including beaches and reefs, and our forests. Prior to the onset of a hurricane, baseline assessments are conducted for each beach on each island, as well as assessments of each hiking trail. Following a disaster, damage assessment is conducted for each beach to identify beach loss and ecosystem damage. The forest is assessed for landslides and tree loss, whilst trails are assessed for damage and accessibility. Alternative roads that run through forested areas would be assessed for accessibility. Waterways are assessed for blockage, and in that connection, we are partnering with the Water Services Department from this year to assist with the assessments in the forest. As it pertains to COVID-19, the environment is probably the only sector that has benefited from COVID-19. while worldwide lockdowns and stay-at-home orders, the environmental ecosystems have actually been granted a much-needed reprieve from human interactions. It has been noted in many media articles that as vehicular and foot traffic have lessened, natural ecosystems and biodiversity have consequently begun to thrive. I am positive that when this is all over, there will be a marked decrease in global greenhouse gas emissions, a much-needed break for the climate system. Additionally, with the reduction in vehicular traffic and human activity overall, we are experiencing less air pollution, less pressure on our natural resources, and less impact on our flora and fauna. Whilst the consequences of the virus have been so detrimental to the human population and the global economy, it has conversely resulted in a much-needed breather for the planet. I pray that the lessons we are learning from this virus impact are not lost in the noise. We have not been kind to our planet, and who knows, maybe this virus is a planet fighting back. It is my hope that our new normal provokes us into taking a much-needed new perspective on how we can discover real and lasting solutions that will be mutually beneficial, not only for mankind, but also for the natural resources that sustain us. Thank you.
As you are aware, it is more important than ever to take care of both ourselves and our community in the fight to stop the spread of COVID-19. Here at Digicel, our main focus is to ensure the safety and well-being of each of our customers and staff. Staying healthy should be everyone's priority. It certainly is ours. So today I'll be discussing some of the ways that we are trying to help our community during this time. We have implemented a number of safety measures in our stores under official government recommendations to stop the spread and ensure the well-being of our customers. The maximum customer capacity in our store is limited to 3 persons, and yes, we know that there are lines, but this is necessary to ensure that we enforce social distancing. We encourage our customers to adhere to all of our social distancing markers at each of our stores, and then there too also when they are just out shopping generally, we are asking that you all adhere because this is the best way to stop the spread, being a safe distance apart. We have also installed protective barriers in our stores. And in addition to that, our stores are equipped with check boxes, and we have also installed additional check boxes at Rams and in Best Buy here in both St. Kitts and in Nevis. It is also mandatory that all of our staff, whether customer-facing or not, as long as they're interacting with anyone else, they are to be equipped with masks, which we provide daily for them, as well as hand sanitizers and gloves for those customers who are also handling cash. We encourage all businesses to do the same. What are we doing for the community? Firstly, I'd like to speak that we have actually partnered with NEMA here at the NEOC. We have partnered with Mr. Samuel. We've partnered with all persons who are working on the front lines as best as possible to ensure that we keep them connected and keep them safe. We have also partnered with the Ministry of Education, as you would have been briefed prior, to offer assistance to 350 mobile students, as well as 100 broadband students in Nevis for free. We want to ensure that students are equipped with the tools to continue their education. We have also zero-rated over 20 sites, which means that Digicel customers within our federation can use these sites for free without touching any of their credit or data allocations. What else have we done? We have increased our entry-level packages for our customers in Nevis so they have access to more bandwidth for broadband, and we've also added a free movie content for 60 days. We have also been donating PPE equipment to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and we have also ordered additional equipment as voiced to us by the CMO as well as by Mr. Samuel. This is all to assist frontline workers in the fight against COVID-19. We've also donated several devices with 3 services to the COVID response teams as part of our commitment to fight. Staying at home certainly is tough. We know that. We have been at home with you. And we want to make sure that you have every opportunity to stay connected when you are housebound. You don't have to come to a store to purchase one of our plans or to pay one of our bills. It has never been easier. I am certain that all of you must know about our My Digicel app, which allows you digital access to what you would do in a store every single day. With the new My Digicel app, you can easily keep your plans, you can purchase recharge, and you can keep your account activated without having to go anywhere, and we encourage you to do so. We know that we are social beings as human beings, but this is the time for us to look at change. We therefore need to look at all avenues and all ways for us to remain connected while enforcing social distancing. In addition to that, we know that you are undergoing extreme stress as we are aware that staying at home and the uncertainty of the times are playing on many minds within not only the Federation but globally as well. And this app offers you access to gifts from us every day and every week with our Shake to Win features, giving you access to great prizes. In addition to that, we've created and launched a series of offers to assist our customer base during this time. Staying connected is hugely important these days. That much is for sure, and we're doing our best to make sure that the island remains connected at all times. One of the things that we have noticed is in this time, our voice calls are going up. 3 months ago, we were all connected via our fingers. We were using WhatsApp. We were using messaging platforms. Now is the time for us to just actually make a phone call. Keep into contact with the elderly folk who may not understand how to use these platforms. Make a call to them. See how they're doing. They're also lonely. They're also suffering just as we are. And we encourage you to look at every single possible way to stay connected. We've also extended our payment periods during this lockdown to prevent service interruptions. We're offering free upgrades to H&E customers, so that's our home and entertainment customers, for 3 months. We are offering free additional data to postpaid customers. We've already implemented that, so you are already receiving additional data. We've also launched a new campaign called Live Free, Pay It Forward, and that simply says, do what you do normally. When you activate a plan, you have a chance to be gifted with the opportunity to live free for the next 6 months. We will pay your utility bills. We will pay your phone bills. We will buy your groceries for you. We will pay fuel for you. And we are going to choose someone from every corner of the island, so from the north, the south, the east, and the west, in both St. Kitts and Nevis. And on top of that, you will get a chance to pay that forward. You can then select a person or a customer of Digicel, and we will give them a cash prize as well. We know that this is the time that you need help, and we are thinking of innovative ways to do that on a daily basis. These are dynamic times, and so therefore our solutions need to be dynamic. And we will continue to work and partner with all businesses within the Federation to ensure that we can offer you the best and possible means of staying connected. I urge you to take care of each other in this time. We would have heard from the agricultural sector and the environmental sector. These are the times that we need to take care of each other. It's not all about business as usual. This is business unusual, and we at Digicel are continuing to ensure that we can continue to foster the connectivity that you need, the offers that you need to remain connected with your friends and families, not just here, but overseas as well. We think that this initiative by this team that brings the daily greetings from and briefings, thank you very much. Daily briefings is an exceptional one, and we encourage you to continue doing this on a daily basis for as long as you can. We at Digicel want to thank you all for this opportunity to talk with you, and we do hope that we can speak with you in the near future. Thank you.
Over the last 24 hours, there were 2 arrests of persons who were in violation of the curfew regulation, bringing our total arrests to 95 to date. This morning, at about 5 a.m., law enforcement conducted a vehicle checkpoint at various points around Bastille. A total of 75 vehicles were stopped. 20 of them were found to be in violation of the curfew, and the vehicles, drivers and occupants were asked to return to their residences. The other 55 vehicles were persons who were exempted. Additionally, 10 persons who were found walking on the street on their way to line up at business places, and they too were also asked to return to their residence. A further 15 persons were found exercising on the streets before 6 a.m. Likewise, they were asked to return to their residences. This is a total of almost 50 persons who were found on the street prior to the end of the curfew. We continue to make appeals to residents to respect the curfew and to stay at your residence during the curfew hours. I remind you that the curfew begins nightly at 7 p.m. until 6 a.m. on limited operation days. 6 a.m. the following day on limited operation days. Law enforcement continues its vigilance in keeping our residents safe, and I'm happy to report again in week 17 of 2020, we recorded a reduction of 39% in major crimes compared to the same period last year. And in week 1 to 17 of 2020, we recorded a total of 41% reduction in reported crimes compared to the same period in 2019. So a 39% for week 17 of 2020 compared to week 17 of 2019, and a 41% reduction for week 1 to 17 of 2020 compared to week 1 to 17 of 2019. In closing, I want to remind residents that the curfew will be in effect from 7:01 p.m. this evening until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. This means that you must shelter in place at your residence, except if you are an essential worker or is required to report, an essential worker who is required to report for duty, or if you need to access emergency medical services. Thank you.
As of Monday, April the 27th, 2020, at 3 p.m., the World Health Organization reports 2,858,635 confirmed cases of COVID-19 globally, with almost 197,000 deaths. To date, 293 persons have been sampled and tested, with 15 confirmed positive, 259 confirmed negative, and 19 results pending. There are 4 confirmed cases of COVID-19 who have recovered, and to date there has been 0 deaths. Currently, 5 persons are quarantined in a government facility, while 84 persons are quarantined at home. 11 persons remain in isolation, while 662 persons have been released from quarantine. Today is a limited operation day, and it has been observed that a significant number of persons were seen in public spaces in Bastille without a face mask or with inadequate homemade masks. We would like to use this opportunity to remind persons that once you are in a public space, you are required to wear an appropriate face mask. Data shows that individuals can spread the virus to others without even knowing that they are or they have COVID-19. A significant proportion of persons who have the new coronavirus have mild or no symptoms. Additionally, if someone develops symptoms, they are able to transmit the virus before symptoms appear. The use of the cloth face mask prevents the wearer from spreading the virus-laden droplets, even if they are not aware that they are infected. Please note, children 2 years and under are not required to wear a mask. Please be reminded that the Statutory Rules and Orders number 15, Section 15, entitled Wearing of Masks Outdoors states, and I quote, "Notwithstanding the provisions of the Small Charges Act, a person shall wear a face mask covering their nose and mouth when in a public space, once a period of emergency is declared in relation to COVID-19. Residents and citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, we are currently under such an emergency. As such, we are all to abide by the regulations being enforced at this time. Failure to comply with these regulations may result in summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $5,000 XCD or a term of imprisonment not exceeding 6 months or both. Remember, your actions count. If we are to succeed in reducing the impact of this pandemic on our federation, we must work together. Maintaining the overall health of the people of the federation continues to be our individual and collective responsibility. I want to use this opportunity to remind you that national statistics and other COVID-19 related information can be found at the official website www.covid19.gov.kn, the St. Kitts Health Promotion Unit Facebook page, and the St. Kitts Health Promotion Unit YouTube channel and Instagram. I thank you.
311. There were a total of 16 calls for the past 24 hours. 16 in St. Kitts, 2 received on Nevis. 911, 121 calls. The NEOC on St. Kitts would have processed a total of 3 calls. 1 utility related, 1 for donation, 1 medical. The EOC on Nevis, 2 calls for the past 24 hours. Persons who require psychosocial support are asked to leave their contact numbers when they call 311, and the counselor will contact you. This is to reduce the cost of phone charges to the persons requesting the service. So 311, when you call 311, you call, you leave your information, and we will ensure that a counselor will reach out to you and call you. The COVID-19 Compliance Task Force continues to do its work, and I want to commend them highly for this week. They continue some educational process, but they are in the process of evaluating the progress that you are making. Today, they evaluated a total of 59 businesses, and they would engage 4 passenger buses. And they are categorized in the following manner: retail, stores, 30, insurance companies, 3, barbershops, hair and barber services, 6, automobile services, 3, courier and shipping services, 3, architecture and construction, 1, medical services, 6, legal services, 1, financial services, 3, real estate, 1, and utilities. Electricity department was also inspected today.
The significant areas of improvement that we are seeing is in the personal hygiene. Practicing good hand hygiene was a total of 94%. Availability of hand sanitizer, 60% alcohol base. They're about 100%. Soap and water readily available, 90%. The weakest areas that we found were rum shops. Rum and bar shops are still attempting to do business. Liquor sold by retail. In transportation, no more than 2 persons per row. That was very poor. Passengers not wearing the mask. That too was very poor at 6%. Windows fully open or partially open. Again, that was very poor on the buses, 6%. Doorknobs and handrests sanitized after every trip. That again was very poor at 6%. These statistics are going to drive the decision-making process. And I again want to appeal to all businesses, bus drivers in particular, ferry operators, to continue to comply with the agreed protocol.